mom's all cheering on the Bucks in the background, all fucking loud. You better not lose. I created a monster with that, man. All right, hold on a minute.
Nice web, Mr. Crack Spider.
C, the active ingredient in marijuana.
Nice web,
THC,
Mr. Crack Spider.
the active ingredient
Nice
in
web,
marijuana.
Mr. Crack Spider. Nice spider's behavior was. The web structure was not affected, but the spider's behavior was. The spider's behavior
All right,
was.
it looks like we finally got everything working. So we are absolutely live now on YouTube. What's up, guys?
Howdy. Howdy, gang.
What up, gang gang? Jim, we didn't hear you. Is your mic on?
How's it going? Yeah, I turned it off because I've got a little bit of noise in my headset from the crick back here, but I don't think you guys can hear it.
Your flowing river. It's not a crick. It's so not a crick.
We're all jealous, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
don't be jealous.
We're
It's
all
just a
jealous.
drainage ditch,
It's a runoff. It's just a runoff.
and it floods sometimes. So that's kind of be hectic, kind of hectic.
As long as there's not like turds floating through it and stuff, I think you're all right. I mean, flowing water is flowing water, right?
That's true. I'm sure there's plenty of turds, but I don't think there's much human turds.
Okay,
Hopefully.
that's
Really?
good.
Yeah, I saw.
No. Come on.
I saw a mink like last week, and I've never seen a mink before, and it was running along the riverbank. I was like, wow, what is that? A beaver? A nutria? And I couldn't tell. And then I was watching like some sort of like medieval movie, and somebody had a fur coat. And I was like, wait a second, that's the exact color of what I saw. And then I looked up what a mink was, because I was thinking, a
Yeah, those
mink
mink
fur
farms.
coat. Yeah, and just like the thing I saw. So
The farmers in like Idaho and Montana, they train mink to hunt the rats at the farms
Yep.
and the ranches.
Oh, wow.
It's really cool.
They have a bunch of weird laws too about with minks. It's weird. Like they
Yeah.
can't
What
be.
are the laws?
They're really goofy. I mean, I remember hearing something on like the local Milwaukee, like the big Milwaukee station, where the flagship station for all of the teams. And I remember them randomly on a Saturday afternoon they were talking about vaccinations, which we will not get too much into, obviously here. But they were talking about vaccinations for pets. And I was literally I was like cringing super hard. I'm like, oh my god, no, stop. And they brought up, well, there's some, and then mink farms somehow got brought up, and I was like, what mink? What is going like mink farms? Like, and
is mink bite fever a thing? Mink bite fever.
Jeez. I don't know, but they aren't. It would be. It's in the like Pacific Northwest or that area. I'm assuming. Yeah. I don't know what the deal is with that. Like, why that climate? Do you know? Anybody?
I don't know much about minks.
I don't either. No, I don't think we. Gordon,
I know
you seem to know.
there's a lot in Montana. I've never messed with one.
Either. I don't plan on it either.
They're pretty much like ferrets, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a ferret. It's a wild ferret.
Yeah, I've met a ferret before.
Yeah, we've all met ferrets, I feel like, right? Yeah. They're gross.
His
I'm
name
not a
was
fan.
Dave. He was an asshole.
They're kind of like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, they're smarmy. They're smarmy.
Yeah,
assholes.
and they're like, yeah.
They're
I
like
don't
the
know.
weasels in Toontown.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Forgot
Very
Are
about
too-
ferrets weasels?
Yeah, it's all weasel family. Those
They're
are all
vermin.
They're all weasels. Shoot.
Vermin.
Stoats they're the really small ones. They're really cute.
I've heard of those.
Yeah.
Are they still illegal everywhere? I mean, like, I think they're illegal in California. I know that. I think they're
Yes,
illegal
they
in
are.
Wisconsin too, honestly.
Stoats are illegal as pets?
No, ferrets.
Or ferrets. Ferrets
Yeah.
are illegal as pets?
Pretty sure they're illegal here.
Hmm.
Yeah. No.
I don't think everywhere.
Not
I don't
everywhere,
think-
no. It's like a
I've heard lots of urban folklore about ferrets like suffocating babies in their cribs and stuff like that.
yeah.
Coming off their faces.
Yeah, it wasn't well, mongoose are ferrets essentially. So didn't Ricky Tikki Tavi kill snakes, the the
That's
cobras
right.
and shit.
That's right. And then and then we can get real weird here. What about Jeff the talking mongoose? I know you
Oh
know about.
yeah,
Do you remember that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just the
what
talking mongoose. Yeah.
in the UK, that we like they kept that family kept moving, and they kept hearing him talking in the walls and all that.
I think I've heard
Jess,
this.
you know about this. You
Yeah,
have
no,
to.
I think
yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to have.
You got a mojito or Moscow and a Moscow Mule? What you got over here?
It is a Moscow Mule, but made with tequila. So I guess it's like a Mexican Moscow Mule.
I'm into it. Hornitos for me. Give me that Blanco, baby.
Yep, I got some. What do I have? I have a Patron in there. I don't know what color. White, silver, whatever.
Blanco.
Blanco.
Right? I mean, but the best. I'll shut up. Well, tequila talk will stop in a second here. But I had tried that. What was it? As a gift, I got Trace. What is it? What's
Trace
Trace?
Generations?
No. It's George Clooney's,
Oh,
and it was the best tequila I've ever had. I was like, God damn.
Let's see. What is George?
Trace. I feel like it's like. I feel like it's like a really lazy name, like Three Friends. You know what I mean?
Okay, George.
It's not Tres Amigos. Is it?
I feel like it
Tres
is. I
Amigos?
feel like
That
yeah.
would
I
be
was gonna-
really-
Oh my
that
god,
would
that's
be-
a furniture store here.
Is it
Oh,
really?
it's
Yeah.
I guess it's Casa Amigos.
Casa. Okay, house friend.
The house of friend.
House of Friends. Yeah,
Oh, House of Friends. Yes.
we're all fluent here. in Spanish.
Man, all the.
Oh.
I could probably see the border from where I am right now.
Where are you
Let's
at? El
see.
Centro?
I'm in Tucson.
Are you in Tucson?
Ah,
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
So I don't know if you can see this, but that. Let's see. Can you see
is that
that?
Mexico?
That's Tucson, and then going where it's dark that way, that's Mexico.
Holy
Dude, my mom graduated from U of A, and
Is she really?
I was born in Phoenix as well.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I have a lot of family out there. I still need to meet my estranged half sister, who's awesome in Phoenix.
Oh, those are always fun.
I know. I've got to make.
Estranged siblings.
I've got
and
to. I've
stuff.
talked to her on the phone, and like
Wow.
dude, like I remember, I almost dropped the phone the first time because we're totally related. Because I was like, "What's the
Aw.
What's the first rock and roll show you ever went to?" And she was like, I think it was Queens of the Stone Age with like Hole." And I literally like was like, "That we're what is going on? Like this is just too much." Because like Queens is my that's my
Dude,
jam.
I love that band so much.
That's my favorite band of all time. Like
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean
Oh, you're right. Of
Metro,
course.
and yeah, I mean I've got like I've seen them. I don't even know how many. I've 10 times. I saw them with Grohl on my 21st birthday at the Metro.
Right on.
Yeah, I mean I've seen them, hung out with them. I don't want to go there right now and talk stupid, but yeah, like they're. I don't know. There's just something about it. Josh is a great dude. Good, decent guy. I'll say that.
I was gonna say, is he really that good of a dude?
He is now. Yeah, I
Is
mean
he?
he's working on himself. Yeah, he's been
Yeah, that's
doing
cool.
shadow
Good.
work with young like we've been talking about.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding, dude. He was on
No
Rogan.
joke.
He was with I heard him with Dean Del Rey too, just like last week, and he
Good
went.
for him.
I know, dude. He need that cocaine, man. It's a hell of a drug.
Dude, we kind of all need that.
Yeah.
That shadow work. Everybody needs that.
We've all been and
There's a lot
I've been
going
working.
around these days. Shadow work. I've heard of it all over the place. It seems like everybody's
It's the
faced with shadow.
yeah, and it's like in the collective conscious of everything, but it feels like if we it feels like it's not taking hold enough, if you know what I'm saying, because everybody's just still capitulating and just like going through the motions. It feels like.
Well, everybody's afraid of looking at their own shit. And that's what it is. You've got to analyze your own shit and your own bullshit that you're living in your life and examine your own hypocrisies and find out where they are. And then what's even worse is do something about it.
Right.
Oh yeah. It's self-preservation that keeps a lot of us from actually being honest with ourselves, because when you look in the mirror and actually see yourself, it's terrifying sometimes. You know?
Hell yeah, it is. Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah, because it's dark, but I mean that's part of the fun, in my opinion. I mean, I enjoy that work because I mean, forgiving yourself after certain. This is me personally speaking. Obviously, it's not the same for everybody, but yeah, it's been through a lot of crazy shit, just like I'm sure all of us here have. So I don't know. When you get to do the work and actually see results and pull yourself up and out of certain situations and can go, holy shit, the view from here is a lot better than, than I was.
And even more powerful than that is you got the confidence that you did some serious shit, man. Like you pulled off something big.
Right.
And all of a sudden you have value again.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
It's huge. It's huge.
And
And
I started doing it. Like I quit drinking a month ago, and I didn't drink a lot. Dude. I realized like I usually sipped on a drink or two when like a few beers when we were doing the show, and I was traveling and I did the show like in the back of the van as we were driving down the road, and then I didn't have a beer, and by the time the show was over, I was really wanting one, and I realized that it had more control over me than I did of it at that point, because I was just kind of going crazy that night. I was like, I need a drink just to relax, and I was like, wait a second, and like I'm not like quit forever, but like I had a drink like a week after I quit, and I was like, I don't really need to right now.
Yeah, because it's not the drink itself. It's you having control of that.
Exactly.
Issue,
that power.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
You're
giving it that power, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
the leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And it's great. And cheers, Jim. Seriously. I mean, like it is like this isn't like, confess this is an AA hour over here, but at the same time, dude, it's like it's a thing, man. Like one of my best friends. What up, Matt? Dude, he's been sober for 3 years now, something straight, and it's just like, hell yeah. It just makes me, but with not taking a sip of booze, that's a big deal. It's not like doesn't smoke a little weed. What, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever, but still, he's got control again. So it's huge, and to see him, whole, if you will, it's
especially when you lost control.
Holy shit.
That's a big thing. Like
yeah.
I was definitely hooked on opiates and alcohol, probably straight for 15 years until about 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
I know that, brother.
Good.
Believe me. The
But
opioids.
Oh fuck, dude.
Dude. No.
That cycle is a bitch. The worst one is the psych meds, though. Getting off psych meds was the worst thing.
Are we talking benzos or SSRIs?
SSRIs.
Yeah. Best.
Yeah. Dude, that stuff is poison for anybody.
I
don't care who you are. That shit is evil.
I have never taken it.
Like your body can't get back in balance without it, because there's nothing in there that makes that, so you just kind of.
I've always been too scared. I've always been way too scared to, in all reality, to take those meds. I remember being prescribed them at a younger age, maybe when I was like 18, and being like, no, this is just not right. Like, I can't get my dick hard, so this isn't okay.
Right.
And also, no, like I'm not taking this for more than a couple days. And I remember just being like, never touching it again.
Mm-mm.
And I'll just give me the amphetamines and the the benzos, and we're cool. But no, but yeah, totally, we're cool.
Just weed now, man. I can't do anything but weed.
I'm with you.
That's it.
I'm with you, man. The that's basically, a buddy of mine started an extract business, and man, it's so great. But I mean, here in Wisconsin, we're like one of the only states still without legal.
Just the glee in your voice.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god, it's so great.
It's
I had for a moment.
Right.
I have to drive across the Illinois border, like 35 minutes down to Chicago area to pay.
Too bad.
Dude, you know how much they tax?
How much is a tax there?
Holy shit, dude! I'll listen. How much this? All right, so My first trip down, I got 2 joints, two 1 gram dog walkers, and a 1-to-1 100 milligrams of CBD, THC gummies, so 100
Yeah, yeah.
milligrams. Guess how much my bill was?
How much?
$92.
Wow, ouch, that hurt. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's
No,
like
that's
Tucson. That's
that's
like
a-
Arizona.
and
yeah.
then I found a different dispensary a little further closer, like in Chicago proper, and much better place, better prices. But I was still paying like $120 for, or like about 110 for a gram of extract. And now one of my
Oh my
and,
Jesus.
and
A
now
gram. Is
Yeah.
this like is it like the THC diamond extract?
yeah,
you're
it's
talking?
diamond drips.
Okay.
It's delicious goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, I think we pay 80 here for that.
Well,
Wow.
my boy.
That's where are you?
I'm in California.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm
so
getting-
we probably about got the same prices, I think.
Similar
It's
pricing.
all
yeah.
across
Yeah,
the country.
similar.
It's all
Arizona.
similar. I've looked at all of extract prices. Yeah, it's all around that price point. But my boy, like it's
Nice.
just too like, way too good of prices. I won't even.
Nice.
So we can talk off air. I can help people out. But anyway, so I was gonna say, so we had a crazy week. My mom was gonna get the vaccine. That was freaking me out a lot because
Yeah.
she's allergic to everything. She's
Oh,
literally allergic to
shit.
every fucking thing. Like
no, that's oh fuck.
seriously, she's allergic to every kind of penicillin, like every kind of antibiotic. I remember driving to Chicago because they put her in like a really nice hospital to try and figure out, because she had a staph infection in her spine, Pseudomonas of the spine, when I was like
Oh my
22. And I got a phone call from my aunt, and it was like 4 PM, and she's like, Dave? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you might want to head down here. Your mom has got 103.7 fever.
shit.
And I was like, oh, fuck. And I'm living in like downtown Milwaukee, and I'm like, all right, I'm on my way. I remember it took me 6 hours in traffic to get down there. Like, my mom's gonna be dead by the time I get. I'm literally in this is like pre-cell phone. Like I've got my Primeco phone, my fat Primeco phone or whatever I think still. And it was super weird. And I remember just being like coming to grips, stuck in traffic, like I'm not gonna be able to say goodbye. So I like had to have this whatever moment with myself. And then when I get there, I remember I spent the night with her. It was awful. They had the infectious disease people, coming in her room all the time. They could not figure it out. They couldn't kill this. She's like crying in pain, like it was awful. She had to be in hospice. Blah blah blah. But she's doing. I'm here helping her now. That's why I'm back home for the first time in 20 years living here. But yeah, it's weird. But it's
Now, are the doctors pushing her to do it, or she
no?
wants
It's
this?
beautiful. My aunt, who's this piece of human scum.
Oh
I don't even care. She's awful. She's like threatening to not even come here because until my mom gets this vaccine. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, dude, you're what? She knows all the shit. She's an RN, but that's why she's a brainwashed.
Yeah, she's brainwashed her.
And do you even realize that it's literally nanotech? Like, this isn't some like standard inoculation going on here, So
Well, even if it is, it's fucking poison. I mean,
Yeah.
they're always poison.
exactly. So I mean, it is. I haven't done enough research. John Brisson has done a ton of research, and he offered to talk to my. What up, John? From We've Read the Documents, and he's offered to speak to my mom about it and of all what he's discovered with these vaccines. And the Johnson & Johnson one actually is
Yeah.
more of your standard. It's not the nanotech. It's not the mRNA. That's not how it works, from what I understand. But anything that's fast track like that, it scares the shit out of me. And
Hell yeah.
and I'm sorry, like I love rock and roll so much that if it were to, Jim and I just had this conversation with Heather Taddy. We're redoing it on Monday, but we were like, what would we do? Are we gonna? Because like All Them Witches is going out on tour, and I got like to buy tickets for the Chicago show, and I'm just like, I've been waiting to see them, and it's like their last record is so brilliant, and I'm just like, dude. And I'm looking at it like, don't forget to buy your Alden Witches ticket. And I'm like, fuck. But if I have to get a vaccine for it,
yeah,
I'll be looking on the dark web.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
Get that Tor browser out, baby. I'm not playing, dude. I don't.
hey, get with Lindsay. She's got some sketchy connections. I think she's posted some stuff.
Okay. I'm into it. Man, I love Lindsay.
Dude, you guys get on Locals, man.
I need to.
Are you on there?
I downloaded it. I've got it. I need to just stop. But it's like looking into the Black Mirror. It's like I try to just, dude. I was talking to somebody. I was like, "Do you?" Corey was asking me. I call it praise. He's like, "Do you ghost on people a lot?" And I thought about. I was like, "I don't go. I ghost on technology. I don't ghost on people." Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I had to think about it. I'm like, wait a minute. I guess I do, but and people could take that the wrong way. Like, but I can't look at social media. Like, I still have these accounts, but I can't peruse it. That's why it took us so long to get together, Gordon. And
yeah,
for real, like, I mean, months, literally.
It is a mess. It is a mess.
Yeah.
Over there. And it's getting worse and worse all the time.
It's awful. And it's when they make it so hard to delete it. Like, I've tried to delete my Facebook, but like I've had.
Oh yeah, they're like, are you sure?
Yeah, and you have to remember. And I'm like, I don't even know my password. Like, dude, like, well, there's a grace period, and then
then you can come back. They're like, oh, just log back in. Just log back in. It's fine.
You've got all of our data points. You got them 5,500 or whatever. Like, come on. Like, it doesn't go away, I'm sure, once you delete it. They've got all of them.
Well, yeah, not only that, is that everybody else is holding your account kind of, it's just there, it's out there.
Yep.
Whether you're doing anything or not, it's like in perpetuity.
Yep,
That's a hard
exactly.
word to say tonight.
It is. It's a pain in the ass. For sure.
You can't get rid of the AI. We're tied to it so much that they're trying to tie our personalities to it. So we can't leave it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just talking about that, I grabbed an Apple Watch today because I was like, well, I wanted it. Yeah. I wanted it for health things. Like, honestly, like for blood oxygen level, those sorts of things. I was like, well, I wanted to get a Fitbit years ago just because, and it's also for like, because I'm healthy, luckily, knock on wood grain. But no, it's like, I just want to be a little bit more conscientious and like be able to look at some statistics. I like that. But other than that, there's no real. I'm not on some Dick Tracy shit over here. Like I don't.
Dick Tracy was pretty cool.
Dick Tracy was awesome.
I mean, I wouldn't want his profile, but you do you, bro. You'd be really cool. Chiseled jaw,
dude.
You got it. You could totally rock a fedora and a.
Yeah.
What's his name though? Matt Gates. I remember that piece of that dude's scum. That I remember looking at him. I'm like, it's that whatever. I'm like, that dude is the worst Dick Tracy villain ever. Man, that guy's awful. Anyway, do you know Matt Gates, the guy the Republican dude he's got like, where is he from? Florida? Yeah, I think so.
Is he? No.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I am so trying to forget all of their names. Dude, every single one of them.
You're doing a good job, man. Good job.
Yeah.
I can't.
Matt Gates, where's
I can't pay attention to that shit, man. It infuriates me. I cared too much, and now I don't care at all.
I think yes, Florida.
Florida.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
See, she's got Fox News on a lot, so I can't do anything.
A lot of it.
I can't do anything about. What am I gonna do? Just turn this shit off, But yeah, it's just that. Yeah, he went to dinner with some like 17-year-old kid with some 17-year-old girl with Tucker, and I saw he was interviewing Tucker. Tucker was interviewing him.
Really?
Yeah, to let him speak on it, and he threw Tucker under the bus in the interview. And I was like, oh hell no! Like it was actually pretty quality television. And Tucker was like, I actually don't know what the hell you're talking about. And I was like, oh shit, dude! Like it's on now. But whatever.
And they aired this?
They aired this. This was live, and this was embarrassing for all parties involved, dude, and everybody watching. I'll tell you. Yeah, it was pretty
I
rad.
love those dumpster fires, man.
It
That's
was
the
awesome.
only time the news is any good,
That's what I'm saying, man.
is when some shitstorm goes down, like that one guy that called out. Oh shoot! Well, Tucker Carlson, the
Yeah.
guy that called out Tucker Carlson on. He's a
Oh,
journalist.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and David Livingstone had it posted on his Dr. David Livingstone. Yes, it was in like it, and it was brilliant. He goes, "Well, it's funny because you say you want to, you're fighting for the little guy, but you work for this big whatever." And he just would not back down. And Tucker's like, "You know what? Fuck you." And it didn't air. I remember seeing the footage.
It's only on his channel.
Yes, the dude because he had it recorded, and Tucker didn't bring it to air. It was brilliant, dude. So good.
Of course he did, because he lost his shit on him.
Yep.
Did you see this, Jess?
I didn't see it, but I don't like Tucker Carlson. I would love to see it.
Of course.
It's so good.
My God.
I'll send
beautiful.
You're not on Twitter, are you, Jess?
I am on Twitter.
Okay, all right. We got to we got to link up on Twitter. I'll send you the link because I know
What's
exactly
your Twitter?
Yeah.
My Twitter is the Rogge Report. ROGGE.
Awesome. I'm probably following you. I don't know if you. Who knows?
Well, let me double check. I think it's the.
But-
the Rogge Report.
Okay, cool. Good. Get that. Gordon, are you on Twitter?
Oh,
I am. I
don't see you much, I don't think.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't interact. I don't use it.
Okay.
Just
No worries.
it's so political.
Yeah.
And,
I get it.
I hate it.
Yeah, we've had quite the week. Or what has it been? 2 weeks, Jim, with the shit that's been going down?
Since we got
struck, copyright strikes in our channels.
Right.
Got all.
Yeah, I think it was last week, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or it sucks. We're kind of like in the shadows now because
Oh, you got struck too. Lindsay did too.
How'd she get struck?
Yeah.
Is it Twyman related?
Twyman related?
No. So tell me about this Twyman thing. What can you nutshell it?
Yeah. You want me, Jim? You want to do it?
Yeah. Everything that she was in, every interview she was in, it all got struck. She did a show, Arc's Only Picture Show, with me and SB Alger on his channel, and like 2 years of shows, they all got copyright struck because she was in it. Every episode that she was in got a copyright strike, and it got taken down. So all that stuff's lost. I mean, we might have copies of it someplace, but it's, when you do a show with somebody, I would think that it's either the creative property of all the people that were involved, or it's the person who, uploads it. It would be their intellectual property.
Yeah.
But
and we did a reading in Remembering Tracy Twyman of Clock Shavings because the book it's a really hard book to find, and when she passed, I had that book and Genuflect in my Amazon cart, and I remember I just hadn't checked them out yet. And I went to go do that, and they were $800. Those two books only. Yeah. And then I was like, what the and I was writing everywhere, freaking out, trying to get these books. I'm like, what are they doing? All these other books are normal price, and I can't get this. I reached out to everywhere, Abe Books, Amazon, I contacted so many people. I was on a mission. This is way before I met Jim. And then finally last year, April, right when the stimulus checks came out, literally like about May 1st of 2020, I remember checking Amazon and seeing I could get Genuflect and Clock Shavings for like $40. And I was
wow.
Bam, got them right away. And then
Nice.
we were doing readings like on the channel, on the Weavingspiders channel last October. And I only did one, I feel like maybe one or two. And they were just respectful. It was literally, I just wanted to read and kind of just like fireplace style, because it's interesting content. A couple chapters. And then all of a sudden our little group chat, our iMessage group of all of us for Weaving Spiders starts going crazy, and I see it and I'm just like, what is going on? And it's just like this channel struck and Tracy is on a rampage and this and the other. All this is getting scrubbed. And I was like, shit. So I immediately got on the Weavingspiders channel and I'm fine. We're good. There's nothing here. And then I unlisted. I basically unlisted in YouTube Studio the Reading and Remembering Tracy Twyman. And then the other night when we had Heather Taddy doing that interview and we were about to go live, we clicked go live. It was like I got all these. You can't go. Like, nope. This account. I'm like, what? And then I found out right there, April 7th, got the strike and was like, I had to go to copyright school and can't live stream until July 7th.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? Yeah,
Yes.
that's
YouTube is so in
They're
the.
like,
I just emailed. Hold on though. I know who it. I emailed the people, and Charisma Dave is coming out, and I'm not gonna be a jerk about it. Like, there's no point in, launching some attack and freaking out. It's like, dude, we can get to at the very least we can find out why this is happening, right? That's the least I feel like we deserve, and to be reasonable, rational, measured. I feel like tact is very important right now. Don't freaking overreact.
It is.
Dude, be respectful, try to figure out what's going on, and we need to get a solid answer. And and then we'll figure it out and go from there. It's overreacting is the worst possible thing anybody can do right now in any situation, I feel like. And if I don't know.
It's tough though, man. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody getting hit at the same time too.
That is Miguel.
Is that not? I mean, come on. We're not suspicious of this shit.
That's what I'm saying. Because it's big.
It's not.
Jess.
It's
Jess.
a
Yes.
It sucks. It's not something that you would do if you were trying to sell her work. It's like somebody's trying to erase her.
Yeah.
Jess,
have you gotten struck yet?
I have gotten for music and stuff, but nothing other than that. But I don't really do much anymore on YouTube just because I don't like, the limitations, and I don't get a lot of views anyways. So
Are you doing Rockfin?
I'm sorry. No, I just do my internet, my radio show on the Fringe now.
Oh, you're a friend. Okay, right. That's where I heard it. Okay.
Love Joe Root. Joe's a good guy.
Joe's great. I
Joe
love
got me
Joe.
into that.
Yeah, Joe's great. He's all over the place. He's hard to get a hold of sometimes. And
He is so hard to get a hold of. Yeah, no, I know. Trust me. I've been trying to get a hold of him. Joe, if you hear this, I've been trying to get a hold of you.
there you go. So have I. And Ryan Gable, hit me back. I know you're having fun. But yeah. Anyway, it's like we go email, text to. I'm like, well, how do you want to do this, bro? Like Facebook Messenger. Like, this is obnoxious. But anyway.
There's just so many things you can message on too, which is kind of a pain in the butt. It's like, and then I got people who are like, well, I use Telegram. And I'm like, well, crap, do I have to get Telegram to talk to you now?
Yeah.
So I got like two people I talked to on that. Then like I talked to one person on Snapchat. It's like ridiculous.
God. I can't do Snapchat.
Yeah, I just use it to talk to that one person.
I get it. I totally get it. Totally get that.
It's so tough. I would end up losing those friends,
Yeah, no.
How do you have time to go jumping around? Each
And then
new
you got the
platform is
social media.
It's a time suck.
Yeah.
No,
And I don't know.
emails?
It's a joke. And guys, I don't know how it is where you guys are. I mean, but here I'm not in Milwaukee anymore, which is like that's like my home, that's Milwaukee's my spot, like neighborhoods. So it's tough being down in where I grew up, which is 20 minutes south of Milwaukee. And there's nobody, this is where I grew up, but like everybody's dead or moved away. I have one friend here that's like a sister to me. But other than that, I don't get to hang out much. And it's like a weird, kind of thing. So like just yesterday, getting to go back to the neighborhood, hang out for a couple hours, and that just rejuvenated me so much. Just like, thank God, I have to remember to do this multiple, at least a few times a week, because it's just
I had lunch
tough.
with a friend. I had lunch with a friend from Phoenix for the first time in probably 3-4 years. No, it was 2.5 years since I'd seen him.
That's nice.
And a couple of weeks ago, I was able to go up to Phoenix and meet Johnny and Lindsay for the day. And like, that shit it's like magic, man, being around other people. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Seriously.
Like we were isolating ourselves before the COVID bullshit.
I was too.
I mean, like, what the fuck? We're really self-sabotaging as a species, all of us.
Yep.
We're just ruining ourselves.
Spot on, dude. Spot on.
By not connecting with each other in real ways, you know?
In real life.
Absolutely. Yeah, this I feel like this is good, but this isn't
right.
that. But this is building that to get to there, right? Like I feel like that 100% because
absolutely.
It's like you said with Lindsay and Johnny. Are you familiar? You're not familiar with Lindsay and Lindsay Rogge? Okay.
I am not, but I am going to check it out now.
You will, yeah, you'll love it. It's great. She's the best. But yeah, like, and then Johnny too. The funny thing, I saw her interview with him when he's telling his whole story and all that shit, and I'm just like, no way. And I hit it. I was like, is that a Black Alicious Blazing Arrow shirt he's wearing? And I hit it up on he was like, holy shit, good eye, man. I didn't even realize. I'm like, because all the hip hop stuff and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, I've spun records for years.
Have you talked to Johnny yet?
I haven't, but
Dude, you should have him on. He's a fucking riot.
I've got to have him on. I've got to have him on now. Yeah,
love that.
I know, dude. Like we could go for forever just back and forth with everything. So 'cause we have a lot in common. So it's crazy.
like how all the punks are
oh yeah, let's do
a
it.
Bunch of fucking cowards.
Thank you. What is going on? Seriously,
like, all these guys. So here's my punk rock experience. Like in 87, 88, a buddy of mine took me to, we'd gone to a couple of punk shows, but nothing really heavy or weird or anything, nothing good. But I stumbled onto a Bad Brain show.
Oh, okay.
And it had to have been 87 or 88. And it changed my fucking world, man. Like the PMA, are you guys, anybody Bad Brains fans?
Dude, I love Bad Brains, man.
Okay. So it changed my world that there was a spiritual side of punk rock all of a sudden, you know?
I love Ija.
And it was magical. And then so it got me into the whole rebellion and anarchy and like living for yourself.
And you get to Minor Threat, you get all those.
Right, you get so it was okay. So a couple of weeks after the Bad Brain show, I was at a barbecue where somebody said, "Hey, the guys from Descendants are going to be at that barbecue," and I'm like, "Oh,
dude, Milo,
I gotta go." And
I want to be stereotyped.
So, I want to be classified. So it wasn't Descendants. They had already broken up, so it was all. But I didn't know who they were. And so we're having barbecue with them and just hanging out. And then they get up and play at this barbecue in a backyard down by the U of A. And then I realized, holy shit, I just had barbecue with Bill Stevenson from Black Flag.
There you go.
I'm like, oh, these are my idols. And now they're like, hey guys, vote for Biden.
Yeah.
Wear a mask.
Wear a mask.
I'm like, what?
Where's Jello Biafra though? That's my question. Where is Jello? What is going on?
Jello has lost
his mind.
Lost his mind, man. I mean, not that there was a lot there to begin with.
But at least can we at least go with like right? But at the same time, he wrote "Biotech is Godzilla" with Max Cavalera from Sepultura. Okay, that is one. It's like Sepultura Chaos AD. That's one of my favorite records of all time. And Biotech is Godzilla. It's literally what's going on right fucking now.
And he's endorsing it.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with your brain, man?
I don't understand. I don't. But I know because I know Buzz Osborne from the Melvins. He's good. He's good. He's good. He's good. He's great. Buzz is great. He doesn't play like I've hung out. My ex-wife. I'm blessed to have an ex-wife who was friends with so many. Like I walked into the greatest.
That's rad, dude.
Can't even. It's just crazy. That's how Queens. That's how I'm like dropping off weed for Brody and Josh at Alpine Valley, like rushing there as quickly as possible because they just had the kid and were freaking out. And I'm like, go knock on their door, give it to them. Cops escorted me literally.
Okay, so I know exactly what time this was then.
Yeah, that was the Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Yep. Dan Hadley, that's the connection. Did the lighting for Sonic Youth and Foo Fighters. Created the chair for Dave Grohl. Yeah, all that. He was Queens. He was basically in Queens for a minute doing all their lighting and design. He's a great dude. Yeah. What
an awesome connection to have too.
It's just super weird. My life, Buttle Surfers. Like when I moved to Austin, Paul Leary is her best. Like that's still her best friend. And Gibby, she was Gibby's roommate for years. Like I walked into the weirdest life. Yeah, dude. I could write books.
And
weird.
You should.
Right? I just later. That's for later.
Yeah. Same.
I don't. It's like it feels like name dropping, but it's my life, and it was weird. It's like drinking White Star with Paul, and looking at Mark Ryden's in his, you know what I mean, and just like, holy shit, what is going on right now? Like playing pinball on PlayStation 1, like all night long, doing bong rips and making fun of my future ex-wife. Like what? So yeah, it was pretty great. For her bad taste in music, but anyway, But no, she's got good taste in music. But yeah, the whole thing with, and I've been screaming that from the rooftops because I'm cut from that cloth as well, with like coming from like a straight edge metalcore thing because that blew up in like '97 for us, touring, playing like Zayo and shit, like bigger bands like Refused in '97 in Chicago at the Fireside with Shai Hulud and like Earth Crisis, and yeah, it was like that. Victory Records bands and stuff like that. Hatebreed.
Yeah, I was gonna say Victory. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And it was super surreal, dude. And so that's where I came, and then I obviously came from like punk rock, Dead Kennedys, Minor, whatever. That's how that goes. But anyway, it's sad to see, and I have band members that are still in current bands touring that are in big bands still touring, and they're just out here. I can't really say they're out here being bitches about it because they're not, but
I think it's all mindless. They're running contrary to a man, like everybody.
Yeah, to Trump. It was to Trump, and I get it.
But like,
it's
use
worship,
your head.
though.
Don't just do something because you think somebody, because you don't like a guy that you think stands for that. Like.
It's useless. Yeah.
So it's not punk rock at all.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So here's the story is, so I'm a vocalist. I've been like a vocalist for a million different genres, did like, musicals and musical theater to gospel to, I've done a little bit of opera, but a lot of rock and pop and metal and stuff and punk. But there's this band called, I won't say their name. There's this band in Phoenix who's established, and
Hate Puppets.
No.
I know them too. Go ahead.
But they wouldn't they wouldn't need a singer either. So
yeah, you're right, Kurt. Sorry.
Yeah, but at any rate, these guys needed a singer, and my buddy up in Phoenix was like, "Oh, my buddy Gordy would totally love this band," and so he sent them to me, and we hooked up, and so I'm about to do tracks with them, and they're sending me their new songs, and I'm learning them, and I'm about to record with them, and I'm like, wow, I really like these guys. And then I'm going through the new stuff, and their lyrics are all about how they hate that orange man, and then bitching about their exes. And I'm like, now I know who the posers are. Now I know who the posers in the scene were. It wasn't me. It was those guys that didn't take it to heart. They wanted the image. They wanted to be angry about something, but they didn't want to live free.
Right. It's okay. It's easy. It's too easy of a target, in my opinion. Donald Trump was just too easy of a target. Like, I don't care for that kind of person. Like, I would have kicked his ass in high school type thing. Right. Whatever,
exactly.
Though. But at the same time, I had to take steps back because in the beginning I was like, whoa, this is like everybody like calm down, like whoa, like I don't like that dude, and he's like a 2-bit.
It's not worth making it your identity.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Okay, exactly. That's my point. And I told them that I'm not gonna be that guy that's what is it, COC? I'm not gonna be screaming Maggie, you cunt when I'm 60.
COC, corrosion of conformity?
Wasn't it COC? Oh no,
No.
Not COC, the guy, the
Quar?
skull with the mohawk.
Quar.
No. I'll remember it when it doesn't matter, and I'll scream it.
All right, do it. I love COC, by the way.
It wasn't COC though. It was the other British. It was one of the Oi bands.
Well, I know a lot of Oi bands. The Business.
Exploited. The Exploited. It's the Exploited. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to base my identity on a political view.
Yeah.
Like that shit's going to change the next 5 minutes.
Exactly. Man. It's ridiculous. But yeah. That was one of the things I like non-political skinheads too growing up, because those were my friends. Those were like my boys.
Yeah.
And Sharps, all kinds, and a lot from Phoenix, the Templars, or the Fat Skins. Fat Skins.
This guy that I just, one of my best friends was a vegan punk. He's the guy that got me into it to begin with, into punk, not to vegan, but
vegan straight edges.
We've been exactly. He's a vegan straight edger, and we've been going back and forth for years about this stuff. He's finally to the point where he's drinking a little too much and texting a little too much, and he texted me something really, knowing my story, right? And it was really insensitive, and it was about the vaccines. I'm like, that's it, man. I'm fucking done with you. I'm not listening to this shit anymore. You want to talk to me? You better fucking be sober, because your points are bullshit and you're just a hypocrite.
Straight up. Don't come with weak shit. Like don't because it's really polarizing right now. When I saw my old roommate take a vaccine selfie when I clicked on Facebook, the last time I clicked on Facebook before yesterday, which was been about 2-3 weeks ago, I saw that first thing. I was like, oh no, and I just like closed it down. I just could not. I just like, no, this isn't happening. Like this isn't funny. Like I don't. And I'm not like I'm not some like anti-vax. I'm pro-choice for that shit, man. Like for real. Like
exactly.
If you want to, like whatever, do your thing. Don't push it on anybody. Don't push. Just. I'm going to make jokes about it, and y'all know me, and you know I make jokes about every fucking thing. I'm equal opportunity racist, equal opportunity asshole. Fuck everybody. Equal. I don't care. I don't pull punches, you know what I'm saying? So, whatever. So, and they all know that. All my true friends and anybody that knows me knows that. So, and now they're surprised and shocked. Give me a freaking break. Oh, I'm off the deep end. I'm all Alex Jones now. Give me a break, dude. Yeah. I'm mad.
And those are the guys that have never actually had a conversation with you in 20 years, right?
Well, no, that's the sad thing, actually.
Oh, really?
That's the crazy. That's where it goes really sideways.
Yeah,
I'm like, you were in the fucking Mistreaters. You were like, what are you talking about, dude? You're in like most legendary like garage punk bands. You know what I mean? Like what?
But don't you love that they put it on you? They put it on you that you've lost your mind.
Oh yeah.
Them.
Oh, I that was when I did actually like let loose on Facebook in a war to where I was like I went off, dude. I was like, you really buy all this bullshit? Just all of it. I just lost it. And then I was like, oh, you blocked all these other people. Like, oh yeah, you blocked Dave too? Yep, you blocked him too? Oh really? Oh, okay. All right, so it's not just him. It's him. But it doesn't really matter who it is. It's just annoying, and I just would rather not have to even, and I'm not going to deal with it anymore. But I don't want to just spin it around and change everything here, but I want to get a little bit weird and talk about some strange shit that's been going on. One of the things is that I'm like absolutely fascinated with right now is Bigfoot, and I've never really thought that that hasn't ever really caught my, how can I put it? Like the whole thing has just always been like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's kind of, but the fact that like I watched the Expedition Bigfoot since I signed up for Discovery Plus or whatever for Heather's Portals to Hell or whatever show, so I could
Yeah.
watch that. I was positively blown away at the footage they were able to capture and all
Really?
this. Yeah, and I have like Where the Footprints and the Cutchin book, Renner and Cutchin or whatever. Both of those books that I have to get to them soon, read them. But I've known that it's been tied to some pretty interesting areas, especially where near you, Jim. Beautiful areas of the country. And the technology that they're using and employing on this show, Expedition Bigfoot, like, I'm serious, you guys, go check this shit out. It scared me more than any show has ever.
What?
I swear on my life, I binge watched both seasons.
Shut up! It's that good?
It's that good. In 3 days, I watched all the episodes and was literally like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. What they capture literally made me like more creeped out than any ghost show had ever done ever when I was younger. Like you know what I mean? Like, there's the Ghost Adventures, the first one, the documentary.
The one with the brick.
Yes, that scared the dude. That was one of the best. Right? Okay.
Yes.
That was riveting shit. And I've had one experience in my life where there was no doubt, where I had confirmation, the whole thing. I've told the story on the show before, so I'm not going to do it again, but it doesn't really matter. So I've had, when I was like 17 and straight edge and recording in the time, whatever, blah, blah, I saw like an apparition of a little girl in a raincoat, about 10 years old, maybe, hood up, flashlight, gripping a flashlight. And then a week late, and in my friend's basement, I never told him what I saw. I was just punching him. He was passed out. I was like, Augustine. And he was sleeping, and I was on the floor, and he was like, what? I was like, under the light switch. I didn't say anything else. Under the light switch. And he got up, and he goes, I know exactly what to do. I was like, what? He's like, come follow me. And I was like, I'm not going near where I know. It was right there. And he's like, follow me. And he was Thai Buddhist, and he had just gotten back from Bangkok like a couple weeks before. And he was our guitar player at the time. What up, Augustine? And he had just gotten some pieces blessed, some gold pieces blessed from that temple. And he was like, wait here. And I was at the landing, like, of this huge ranch house out in the wood, like not the sticks, but out a little ways here, a couple miles out from here, where it's a lot of Native American burial ground, like, no doubt, out in that area. So anyway, I'm waiting there, and I'm just like freaking out, and he comes back, and he literally is like, open your hand, and he puts it in my hand and closes my hand, and literally all fear, anxiety, everything just gone. It was unreal. And I had I was raised evangelical Christian, like forced to go to church, like born again, all that shit. And like, so I was very anti any of that, but I just was like, what just happened? Okay, cool. I'm okay now. And I went to sleep and everything was fine. Well, a week later, I get a phone call from one of my best friends still here in town. My only friend, Erica, here in town still. And it was like a sister. And she's freaking out. She's like, and the crazy thing is, I got confirmation because my mom picked the phone up. It was one of those things, it's like she answered the phone first and didn't say shit. And Erica is like frantic and like crying, and she's like, Barski, I just dropped Augustine off, and I don't know if I'm losing my mind, but he lived in a cul-de-sac, and it was like a October night, and it was dreary, like foggy a little bit, but she was like, I did a U-turn in his cul-de-sac, and I saw a little girl running in slow motion with a flashlight, a little blonde girl. Yep. And I said, was she in a raincoat? And she was like, yes. And I like, she just started, and I got the confirmation. The whole thing was like, oh fuck. And my mom heard the whole thing, and like, it was just like, what? So that, like, so basically, but this show did that same thing. Certain parts in the show multiple times did that exact same, gave me that same chill, that same weird chill that you can't control, that you're like, holy shit, you've got multiple things on, like, this is legit. So Expedition Bigfoot, like, it sounds ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. But man, like, oh, it's crazy.
What an awesome story.
It's
Your
wild.
ghost story. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's a good ghost story.
It's crazy. It's the only time, and I was straight edge at that time too. Like that was when I had X's on my hands playing shows like a jerk. Straight up. No joke, Gordon. Bro. And I feel bad too because we kind of ushered in that
dude.
metalcore. We ushered in that like melodic metalcore sound. Like it's I know.
Dude, I love that stuff though. God, Quicksand and Fugazi. Okay, one of the worst shows I ever saw was fucking Fugazi
Oh, I know. I can
because
tell.
they
Yeah,
had to ruin it,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
love that band so much. But Ghost Stories, man, did I share those on Lindsay's?
No, share.
Maybe I just talked to her about it. So I went to the Queen Mary once
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
and saw a demon come out of a mirror.
What?
Nice. But scary, but
Wow.
nice.
It was absolutely terrifying. Yeah. So
What? A
As a
demon?
young-
In one of the tell us,
okay, check.
like what did it like?
I always hit you with the zingers and bring you into this
Yeah, right.
mundane, stupid bullshit where I'm like, I don't know, it was just shadows, man. I'm just kidding. We were young. I was a young father, and my daughter's getting to the age where she's really into the ghost stuff. But my daughter and my wife are really in tune with the spiritual world. Like they know shit, right? So like kind of mediumistic kind of stuff. So I'm like, yes, let's go experience ghosts at the Queen Mary because I'm brilliant. We're gonna dig into this stuff, right? So I take them. I booked this vacation. We drive out to Long Beach and stay the night in the Queen Mary and do the ghost tour at midnight. And Hope, I think, was 8 or 9. My daughter was, but she wanted to do it, and I'm like, encouraging father. I don't want her to stifle herself if she's got a gift, right?
Right, exactly.
So I'm gonna encourage her. So we go, and you do the typical tour, and like you go to the pool, and you see the shadows, and you hear like little kids and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know that. The pool, yep.
And
Yeah, the pool.
and it's pretty kind of cliche, like to what you've seen before. And then I'm like, wow, I just don't know, but then I see this thing follow my wife into one of those little changing rooms into at the shower area. Like it's one of the changing rooms. It's pretty famous. But I see the shadow go in with her to it, and I see her bolt out, and she goes, something's in there, and I'm out of here. And she takes off. So then we go into this round room, and the lady who's running the tour is like, asking if anybody's here, doing the typical ghost hunting bullshit thing.
Yeah.
And so some lady screams because she felt something on her leg, and I'm like, whatever, lady. And my daughter and my wife are standing in front of me in kind of this crowd, and I'm standing up against the wall, and I'm like, whatever. I give this attitude of whatever, losers. And this thing comes up and smashes me up against a wall. And
Wait.
Oh, fudge.
it went through my daughter and my wife and hit me like in the chest. It was like a boosh and smashed me up against the wall I was already against, right? And so I don't get scared, I get mad.
Oh.
And I'm like, so I'm starting to rage, and I'm out of here. I take off. I walk out of the room, and the girls had already gotten pictures of like signs swinging, and there was a guy, a lady, who had a camera, and my wife heard a voice say, "I'm going to knock that thing out of your fucking hand," and her phone went
Dang.
like, bing.
Wait, with the curse in there, everything was heard
Yeah.
clear. Wow, was it
Well, she heard it. I didn't hear.
So okay, so it wasn't
My
like an
wife heard
EVP, so it was like actual like disembodied. Damn.
Yeah, it was a disembodied voice, right? So I'm like, wow. So we're pretty freaked out and adrenaline rushed, and it's time for bed. You know, the thing's over, and then you're supposed to go back to bed.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You gotta
So
sleep there. Shoot.
yeah, so
Dude.
I gotta sleep there. And I'm thinking, I am badass, man. I am doing this. This is cool.
Hell yeah.
So
Yeah.
so we're in this tiny little room, and it's got a little bed for a kid kind of off to the side, but there's no way she's sleeping in there. And she's a little wigged out. I'm probably more wigged out than she is. And it was weird because we get in bed and I'm kind of like protecting my daughter. You know, she's still pretty young, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, no, you're staying here. And so the girls just fall asleep almost immediately. And I'm like, there's something fucking wrong. And I'm awake, and I sit up, and you just get that sick feeling in the pit of your stomach, you know?
It's almost like gut rot, but it's
gut rot. Yeah.
it's like that anxiety, gut rot. Yep.
And there's a mirror at the end of the bed, and I see like it's like venom, like kind of crawling like this, like pulling out like this kind of thing, right? But it's all teeth and smoke. Like
what?
A gin, like
yeah, sounds like. Ooh.
It's like that's what I picture a gin look like, you know. And so I'm like, I don't remember what I said, but I am praying. I am totally praying at this point.
Are you Jesus praying, or are you just going like whatever? Do you remember?
I think at that time
I've done that.
Jesus, it was Jesus.
You have,
praying,
yeah, like yeah, dude.
So, I mean, this is what I grew up with. I was totally a Christian up until, I think I was still calling myself Christian up until a couple years ago. I don't even know why after that. After like 20 years, I'm like, what? I'm just playing a fucking game. This is stupid.
Yeah.
So at any rate, so I am praying, and I'm freaking out, and I look up to the sides of the bed, and there's two men standing at the sides of my bed.
What?
Giant men.
Oh man.
And I kid you not, I couldn't, like, if I made this up, I would make it a little more interesting, I think. But
how this is
so check it out. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And this hand kind of comes over like this, kind of over my chest, and just touches me, and like instantly, like peace, boom. I'm like, oh, and he's like, this is our job. This is what we do.
Damn.
He looks back up, and they both take that thing into the mirror. They just go,
shoot. So
and
they came to.
Came to contain the
guard. Yeah, dude.
Like
demonic
Adjustment
force
Bureau. Shoot.
Yeah, it was angelic. Like they were angels.
Wow.
I like in the morning, I'm telling my wife this. I'm crying. I'm bawling.
No, yeah, I know.
Like,
yeah, I know.
Freaking out, you know.
Holy shit.
But it was as real as I'm talking to you guys. To me, like
dude.
It was just that real.
That is amazing.
That is amazing.
Holy shit, Gordon. That is seriously.
Like I have to talk about having a weird life, man. Like I've got a fucking weirdest life.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. What year would you say this was too?
Oh, if she was 8 or 9, she's 22 now, so 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, 2009.
Okay.
2008 maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's 2008. It was 2008.
I'm curious. Now we're gonna go around. We're going around. Jess, it's your turn.
Yeah.
You've got to have some. You don't have to have something, but I'm
I don't
curious.
have anything cool. I'm like, I had like a partially like kind of interesting one, but Gordon's just. I didn't want to go after Gordon.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, that's an amazing.
Did I-
Yeah, that's
did I shit in the
impossible to
pool?
Hard to
follow.
follow
I'm
up.
sorry.
That's hard to
That's
follow.
hard. Let
That's
me.
how
Well,
Hold
you
on.
you go ahead.
you come out with the biting off of the bat and spitting the blood, and
Yep.
you make a show of it.
Damn right. And you do your Rogie report. You do your Rogie report. You've had to have come across some crazy shit like that's been
Yeah, come on.
like, or all right. So let's try this maybe. Like
Yes.
as of late, what has stuck out and spooked you the most? You'd say like what are a few of the things that you've been researching, and when you do your report or whatever,
Yeah.
your show. What have been some of the things like that have been just like shook you almost, like absolutely shook you,
Yeah.
Absolutely shook me.
or that like
Ooh.
springboarded you into like researching something? You know what I mean? That just like catapults you into like, oh, I gotta jump in and research this. You know?
I don't know. It happens so much. I think last year I just kind of really getting into what really scares me, the amount of AI that the military is trying to like
Oh.
implement and probably is already implemented, the amount of satellites that we have going up, the countries working together. There's us, and then there's our enemies working together in space. What scares me is the possibility of some horrible tech war with drones controlled by AI. And yes,
Yeah, this new Annie Jacobson book, all about.
I love Annie Jacobson books. Yeah.
Yeah.
She just
Okay,
finished
so-
Phenomena
Sorry.
not too long ago.
Love her.
Okay, so Jess, now you have to see my interview.
Yes, I
'Cause
know.
that's-
I'm like,
That was
is that
what I worked on
Gordon,
for the
can you go into a little
military-industrial
bit? Can you go into a please just for a minute
like a
maybe?
short little
Yeah.
thing for me?
Sure. So I was on a UAV project for
Mhm.
one of the big UAV, unmanned aerial vehicles. So for one of the big military industrial complexes.
Mhm, mhm.
And so very long story short, I ended up, oh God. So I was tested specifically when I was doing a security clearance test, and tested perfect for this little program that they have. And it was part of a implantation and UAV project to kind of run
Wasn't it code?
autonomous.
Wasn't it code for drone? Like for running, like writing code of some. I'm not trying to.
No. So what my job was I was supposed to be reading the troubleshooting code
Oh, that's right. Troubleshooting the code. I'm sorry.
to be able to watch
On the fly.
drones as they were during their mission doing
Okay.
the reconnaissance or laser painting or whatever it is,
LiDAR.
the targeting, LiDAR, right? Exactly, all those things. So my job was to troubleshoot those on live missions, and I was witness to the WikiLeaks shooting. The one with the
Yes.
Jordanian.
Yes.
Okay, so I saw that whole thing go down.
Wait, what happened? The sidebar.
So-
Yeah, I don't know what. I'm
Um,
not familiar with that either. What? If really brief, if you could be. I'm sorry.
Sure, no problem. So in Afghanistan, there was a mission where American troops knowingly shot and killed a Jordanian journalist. who
Okay,
was-
a friendly.
who he was a friendly, and
Okay.
they knowingly killed several just normal citizens, and a couple of children died. The thing is, they knowingly knew they were there, and they knowingly blew up an ambulance, which is a war crime.
Absolutely.
And there were a bunch of psychopaths, and I actually warned the guy I was with at the time. I said, that's not a gun, that's a camera. And he said, it's not your job, man. And
Like stand down.
yeah, but I mean, I was nobody. I was just a tech
Right.
in the chain, so it didn't they didn't give a rat's ass what I thought. But that shit followed me. I mean, when WikiLeaks reported it, it was on every news source, and it comes up every once in a while. Like I heard TYT bring it up about a year ago. And I was like, that shit, I can't get away from that shit. But that was just one of many, many, many missions that were just slaughters. The way the drones were so surgical, it's just slaughter. It's shooting fish in a barrel, man. Though, and it's
gross.
so much tighter now. But they look for those psychopaths to pilot the drones, but they don't even have to do that now. It's all AI. Like even when I was there in 2006 and 2008, we were flying an autonomous UAV from the coast of San Diego to out in the middle of the Pacific autonomously through AI. They were just doing it. It was just telemetry, and it just like it's built to just ferry supplies and things to the carriers,
Sure.
nuclear carriers. So they're out at sea for years and years and years. But that was 15 years ago.
That's wild, right?
Like what they can do now is mind blowing.
Terrifying.
And in 03 with the cloaking technology the way it was then, holy.
How could it be now?
Yeah. Okay. So going back to the story is that later, so just about 2 years ago, I found out I got to the point where I was suicidal. I got off of all my meds. I got off of drinking. I had to fix my brain because my brain was fucking broken because I was diagnosed with a tumor in my a pituitary adenoma, which is between your frontal lobe and your pituitary gland.
Okay.
And I found out that thing had never grown or shrunk. And tumors, if it's a natural organic tumor, will grow or shrink at some point over the years. It never did. And I found out I could stick a magnet to my neck to this thing right back here. And then, so I'm investigating that, digging through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of patents online through Google patent search. And I found it. There's a patent for that company for a biotelemetry implant that is human implant. So, and they're exactly where this thing is in the back of my neck and right above your pituitary gland in your brain. And the implant, it doesn't even have to be a surgery. It's just syringes, basically. Essentially, they go up through your nose, stick it in.
Are we talking? Okay, can I ask you this? Just press pause real quick. Are we talking? Are we on this nano shit? Is this like a more of a? Because
it's a lot more advanced now than it was then.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It has to be. But I mean, with that, the propylene glycol thing, with all of that, and being the adhesive that like for the nano dust particulate type things or whatever. That's what freaks me out with like quitting smoking and vaping now. With what I mean? Yeah. And
I thought the same thing.
But I can't let that, whatever. So I'm breathing much more.
Well, I mean, look, I'm still using.
That's
thing you make
straight to the brain, bro. I know.
To the brain.
Yeah, I was just out on a walk with my, air links.
You didn't know. You didn't know that you had been implanted.
So, yeah. So I have a capability of blocking things out, which they knew about when I some childhood trauma that I blocked out. and you can tell that stuff on a psychological test. And this is the other way I found out is I found out about some abuse because of some psychological testing later on, right? When they're thinking I'm crazy because I'm saying I have implants, and they're like, oh no, you've got trauma, like bad trauma, like, and here it is, and here it is. But these fucking therapists are telling me that, okay, so tell me about the little green men again. Like, they're trying to make it an abduction story, and I'm like, that's not what this is.
That's
so
some.
I know I can't trust them.
Yeah, that's like that's the specialist factual, almost like the specialist factual programming nonsense that they hire for cinema in Hollywood. For consulting on films that it's based on a true story or based on whatever, where they basically implant false memories into or false realities into to create false memories. It's like you can do that with hypnosis. You can literally implant false. Yeah,
that's right. So I knew I couldn't trust them doing hypnosis on me to figure it out. So I had to learn it myself. So I taught myself. And that was like the hardest shadow work, because that's like going to an exact time and place. And that sucked. But I found out a lot of shit. And I mean, it wasn't fun, but it was freeing, man.
That's what I mean.
Talk about freeing. Like, you're not afraid of death anymore. Like, you look Satan right in the eye, and you're fucking nothing, man.
It's a laugh. Seriously, it's a laugh. Yep.
It is a laugh.
And I don't want to like stifle this here, but I'm working on, I'm doing a lot of that. It is shadow work. You could call it that, but whatever, with grounding, with chakra clearing and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's also, I'm working on visualization and all that with my meditation.
Yeah, that's really important.
And that's the most powerful thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and and I've had the thing with like the belief is bad kind of thing. Like, I don't believe in anything, but it's also, it's not a matter of belief. It's a matter of expectation. I found that if you expect something to happen, that it's much more likely to happen if you expect it to happen and believe that it will happen. If you have that shadow of a doubt, you know what I mean? That's going to kill it. That does kill
stuff
it.
Works.
It does, absolutely works. Yes. Yep. So, and I'm working on that right now currently, and I'm having fun with it because I know, I'm seasoned in it. I'm getting more and more. It's getting more and more refined, if you know what I'm saying, and but not. I didn't mean to digress too much there, but
no, it's okay.
But I mean,
getting to do that well, to do it very well, is, and it sounds super woo or new agey bullshit or like some religiosity, but getting yourself pure, like your body pure, and because I had to go on a high fat diet to fix my brain, because I was still having seizures. Years later.
Did you get the hallucination? Did you get the hallucinations that were the telltale signs pre? Because I've had those.
I had audible hallucinations, but not.
You didn't have do you have the smell too?
Okay, so maybe not. I don't.
Okay.
I don't know, because I was really fucking paranoid, because I was actually being followed, and I was actually being. I've got video of Black Hawk Helicopter. No, they were Apaches. Kind of buzzing, not kind of. They were buzzing my house. In fact, they pulled out specifically so that they could show me that they were doing it.
Dude.
But it was exactly 7 years after I signed that piece of paper. It was right when my NDA was over, and I could talk about it. And that's when the shit started happening. That's when they started watching me.
Of course.
Don't need to waste resources before then.
Yeah, exactly. Because they knew I wouldn't say a word.
Exactly.
And I'm still not going to say a word, because I don't. If I had that kind of proof or something like
tangible that you could really
tangible that I could stick to, I would be obsessed with getting justice for that thing.
Sure.
And I would have never gotten to the place where I am
Free. Yeah.
mentally.
Yep.
And I'd be stuck in that trauma over and over and over again.
That's death. Yep.
And that's death. And that's, I mean, I could say names,
Don't.
but I'm not going to.
Exactly.
And like, it's
There's no
it's not
point.
going to do any good. And the freedom is here. It's not out there.
Exactly. And it's like, why be a Nazi and be like, you know, and like, and I'm not using that word lightly either. Why be a Nazi and go talking about it and, you know, or I'm just doing my job. I'm just following orders by, or they're being actual, you know, Nazis by, I'm just following orders. You know?
Well, I was that guy. I mean, I come from a very naval, like my grandfather was a Navy hero.
Same with mine. That's awesome.
Too. Yeah.
Same. You would or Hacksaw Ridge, dude. My grandfather.
Yeah. My grandpa was in Midway and he was a CB.
Shit.
And so he saw a lot of shit in Korea too. It was ugly, but like he was a badass man. He really screwed up, and I get it now. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh right, war trauma does this to you. That's why I act weird. Like that's why I do weird things and flip out on people over something stupid. And I'm like, oh, that's called triggering. Oh, all right. Like
right.
Trying to get to know yourself sucks sometimes.
Yeah, but and then like trying to shed that whatever they want to say, it's like, you know, burned into our code, our DNA, and all that nonsense. But
generational trauma, man.
Yeah, it's legit. It's legit,
mm-hmm.
But it can be. I feel like it can absolutely be healed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yep.
Sure can. But we have to do it ourselves, and it sucks, and nobody wants to do it, but it has to be done.
Right.
Shadow work.
Yep. There it is again.
There you go.
The great Carl Gustav.
Wow.
But it's just such a man, dude.
Yeah. Say wow again. Wow.
Because after like all of this now coming like so, it's like more full circle again with the Camelio right fresh in my mind. You have the second we get off of this or whatever, you've got to get this book. Like I don't want it's not I don't think it's a fun enough read. It's like it's Bukowski, Hunter Thompson. You know, like it's got that. It reads so perfect. It's beautiful. It's great. There's funny. There's a lot of fun in there. But it is absolutely mind-boggling how diabolical and because they could, and it all stopped when he got to Winona, Kansas, because there's only 120 freaking people living there, and they couldn't do it, and these guys were gonna like basically it's crazy, but yeah. I'm not gonna spoil everything.
Yeah, don't spoil it for me.
Don't you?
I'll read it and get back to you.
We'll do a deep dive show on it and talk about it. Yeah, the Mysterious Universe dudes did, but that was a while ago. But it doesn't really matter because we'll have a different take anyway. They're fun. I love those guys anyway.
I love those guys.
They're great. Yeah. But Jess.
Yes.
Have you been able to what are you on right now besides like the tech shit? Because the tech shit is really, really spooky. Like it is.
Yeah.
But it feels like when we speak out about it, we're paranoid assholes and warning people about these things. Like, oh, when it's, you know, when WikiLeaks comes out, proves all the shit. Well, I think in all reality, the whole Snowden thing,
mm-hmm.
in hindsight, like looking back now, I feel like, yeah, he is like not all he claims he is, or the hero kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like I feel there's a little bit more to this story. He got away a little. I don't know. I'm speculating, and that's just my gut. I could be wrong.
Who are you saying got away?
Snowden. I feel like he's not.
They let him slide in there.
Absolutely.
And they're persecuting Assange.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They're going after Assange. It's a bait and switch, dude.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's exactly what it is. And oh man, that's super sad. Just for standing up against the fucking the Clinton, it's the whole thing. But whatever. I don't anyone. Whatever. Ugh, gross. It's just we all need 5 showers now.
Just so
Man.
gross. It's so dirty.
It's so dirty. And then
Like
Bourdain, thinking about Bourdain too, like that just hurts because it's like that happened on my birthday, and like he's one of my favorite humans. He was one of my favorite humans on earth. It's like, what? Really?
You know, the one that scared me is Tracy Twymans, man.
I know.
Like, what happened? We still don't have any answer, right?
This is what I'm saying, and this is why, like, Jim and I have, like, this, like, it's like I've said it multiple times. I'll say it again. The reason, like, all of this is what it is because of Tracy, and I don't give a shit. Copyright strike that shit. You know what I'm saying? When I got the news that she had passed, something came over me to where it was literally like, holy shit, I could feel some sort of her essence. I don't know how to really word it properly.
I felt it too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To where it was so strong that I was like teared up, not right. I can't even explain. It was wrong. Like I don't get.
Oh, same, dude. I can't explain that to you. Like to cry about somebody that I didn't know.
Thank you.
Like be affected like that.
Yes.
I'm like, wow, this is like hitting home.
You know what I did? And I've never admitted this. I actually wrote to. Ron Patton, Clyde Lewis' producer, because Jim, I know you and SB were on right away after that, and that was really tough. And I remember I wrote to, I was like, she's here right now. I sent him a Facebook message saying that, like, she's around all this. I literally
I felt it, man.
And I meant it. And and he responded, was like, thank you. Like, he viewed it and like thumbed up. Wow. And then later on we got in contact over other things, but it doesn't really matter. The point is like, and then all of a sudden it's just like when I tried to get this show going, which was like, I had multiple people fall through for like a co-create part, just a partner in crime for this. And so many people just fell through my band. Like, well, let's do this way. I'm like, look, man, this is just whatever. And then Jim we just connected last, like, early summer 2020. And then it was just like, we Zoomed a couple of times, like, yeah, let's do this. This is it. But if there's any stress, we're not gonna, we'll wait until there's no stress. We'll get it right. And
yeah, I was thinking, you know what, I could do a show, like that would be cool. And then when we started talking, I was like, wait a second, I know this guy.
Yeah, it was weird.
We gotta do this. Like, we got a show.
It was the thing. It was super like, and it's like, I feel it was like a brother. Like I feel like this guy's family. You know what I'm saying? Like we haven't met in whatever in real life, but it's like, no, dude, this is a brother here. This is family. So it's like, and then it was like, well, what? Why go so far as to like examine, like hyper focus on something, but it's right, like hyper focus on, oh, Tracy Twyman brought us together and da-da-da-da-da. No, it's just what it is. And it's like, it's not like we dwell on these things or whatever. We just, when it's self-evident, it's self-evident. Let's just be realistic here, right? And own it.
She's the reason why I'm doing this, because me and SB, we followed her work and she kind of disappeared.
I remember that
4 years ago when she first started getting sort of like cyber stalked or something. And we sent her a video of me and him. We're like, hey, we're here for you. We're real people. So, we reached out to her and she got back in touch with us. And then we started, we started talking to her and stuff. And then we started doing a show because we thought maybe if we, do a show, she might come on it, and eventually she did. So
that's pretty cool.
It was cool.
So wait, Jim, I don't think we've really gone into this either. How did you get into because of I know the proximity probably played into it, right?
I totally followed her work, and then she was going through some stuff, and Sean was like, I'm kind of worried about her. And we listened to a video about her being cyber stalked and how stuff was getting messed with. Like, she was, she was sending email messages and text messages to people, and she wasn't feeling like anything was getting through, like it was getting intercepted, and you know, like it was just hard for her to. She felt totally isolated and cut off from everybody that she knew, and weird stuff like she'd be doing research and then she'd be watching YouTube, and she thought that they were changing it. The content of whatever she was watching was being changed by an AI in real time for her.
For her.
Like messing with her. You know,
I've heard her describe this in depth. It's wild sounding. It really is. It does sound like, holy shit, dude. Like that's ludicrous, right? It does sound crazy. I mean, it does. But that now that we know, that it's that if there's anybody that they would do that to.
Oh yeah, there was some crazy stuff like some QAnon drops. Like when she was researching some stuff, it would come up in a Q drop, like right at the exact time, like right after she was like, she'd do some research about it, and she's like, I just read this stuff and wrote it on my computer yesterday, and there's a Q drop about, you know,
and
hyperspace kingdoms. And
by the way, Jim,
like,
do you know though? Have you guys know about that HBO documentary outing Q? Okay, just what?
Yes, I watched the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Vrabel. I was just Okay, so that's. I don't know how you guys feel. I feel like that is pretty legitimate. I feel like that's what's up, and that's the exposure. And Bannon bankrolled it. Whatever, got it rolling.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
So that just solidifies things a little bit more. That man, it's just I need to watch it. I haven't. I got to watch it. I'm gonna start.
You should watch it. It's like watching the dirtiest, grossest parts of the internet and being like, wow.
Because we were thinking it was all right. So like Michael Deacon's a friend of mine, and he's Schoenberger. I know has been around like all these cats that are just gross internet, scum, Defango, teenage FBI, and we've been targeted by them because of my relationship to Lee Veltman. I'm friends with, and we've read the documents because we've been shooting. We've been assassinating Q since we started the show. Like that was part of the thing. It was like there will be no punches pulled. Like I'm not letting this take down actual good research, because that was what I mean. That killed so many birds with one stone. It's insane, and just muddied the waters so hard for everything.
Oh yeah.
That it was like, oh, you fucking, and knowing how psychological warfare and studying Aquino's books and what really goes on and how it's really implemented is just like, it's diabolical. And
it's horrible.
Yeah. I had a personal thing against all of it. Just like, look, I'm bringing on people that are going to just absolutely shoot holes in all of this shit, and the grift on top of it, the grift so strong, and it's just like, you sick bastards. You're out here like, still out here talking nonsense with giving false hope. Really? Like I heard John, I don't mean to be mean, but John B. Wells, dude, I heard him the other day, and he was still, he still was like, Richard Serrett, I couldn't believe it. I heard Richard Serrett go,
dude, yeah.
I like Richard. I was great. He did on Conspiracy Unlimited. He goes, John, I don't mean to be that guy, but I just don't you think that maybe the whole thing was just selling false hope? He's being as kind as possible saying it. Yes. And John was like, well, I spoke with blah, blah, someone just last week, and he let me, and he was like, yeah, but John. And I was like, yes, thank you, Richard. I'm going to get Richard. Richard's going to come on. But,
oh, nice.
Yeah. But still, it's just like all these cats, Defango claiming that he was, doing some Q drops or responsible for some of the Q drops. There's a whole bunch of, it's a mess. But now and if the Philippines played a huge role from what Vrabel told me, and so I've got to watch this documentary. I'm going to start. Do you guys know how many parts it is?
I think it's 6 episodes.
Okay.
Something like that. I mean, you could, finish it in a weekend,
Oh, yeah. If I did Expedition Bigfoot, I can do that. But it's hard for me to watch. This is different for me. This is personal. Like,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's very in depth, and I think it's well done.
I just
too.
hate it though. It makes me so angry. Hate you.
Sounds like
The whole thing.
work.
What's up?
Sounds like work.
It is. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be for me. It's gonna be work, and I'm
You
just like,
know,
yeah, it's rough, dude. It's rough.
it is rough.
And then, like, luckily we got Mark Devlin back on. Do you know who Mark Devlin is, Jess?
I think I've heard the name.
He's Good Vibrations podcast. He's was always up with Billy Ray Valentine and Crow 777, and those dude. He's a good dude. He's a DJ in the UK. He fell for he was in with bought in with Q really late, and I'm like, is this happening?
Wow.
And then Billy did an episode with him on his show. They both did a Infinite Fringe and whatever, and they mended, and now Mark has got his brain back. So thank God we got him back, because like we're losing people to this. I'm like, how is this even possible? Like, yeah, it's
Right.
really sad. So I don't know, but it's just gross. But
It
Oh,
is.
wait.
It is gross.
What's going on with my thing?
there you go.
There you are.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. So, is there anything? What I'm trying to think. We're getting close here. We're going for 2 hours here. Is there anything else? Well, let's see. We got a couple questions in the chat, so I'll address that. CM5891 was Tracy Twyman talking about pedophiles and stuff. She yes, yeah.
Oh.
Genuflect.
Yes, she was.
Holy shit, dude. The book, her only novel, Genuflect, is absolutely one of the most extremely graphic.
I don't think I could do that.
It's we were gonna do it. We did a read. I remember reading the first chapter. And I was like, Jim, I don't think I can read this on.
Mhm.
I don't think we can continue this, man, because it's about to get really, really foul. But yeah, she was, and there's a lot of things she was investigating. But I don't feel like the Plus Ultra thing was really fascinating to me, because with the Tomorrowland, and Mar-a-Lago with Trump and all that stuff at the Plus Ultra, and how that is. I don't know if anybody's seen that Tomorrowland movie with George
I have
Clooney.
not.
It's amazing.
Oh yes, the one
this-
from it was a few years ago.
Yeah, and they
Yes,
go
yes.
into this secret whatever, all these scientists, and they're all like
yes.
Asimov's there, and like all the best writers, but they're all like Fabian Society fuckers. You know what I mean? It's all social engineering peeps, but whatever. But still, at the same time, it's like it's just fascinating and super cool. But what I found really odd about it was how I could never find. I remember it was on like TNT a couple times, but it wouldn't let me record it. And it was edited, and when I was ever was on TV.
version.
Yeah, and I couldn't ever find it. I remember having even a rough time like torrenting it. And I was like, what?
But
that was
kinda hard to find. It seemed like
Y-
it was only on pay-per-view for a minute.
yeah, it was
And I was
really
like,
weird.
I'll watch that in a minute, and then it never, disappeared.
It was suppressed almost. It feels like, and
I ended up having to rent it and pay for it.
but it's a good. And then there was a lot of good stuff in there. It felt like, but there was a lot of like weird fluff, right, mixed in. But that's Disney.
Yeah.
You're gonna get that, yeah. So, and by the way, in the chat, it might have had killed her. Well, there's a lot on that. And by the way, women statistically do not hang themselves when they commit suicide. So,
Oh
yeah, there's that.
shit.
I don't want to
Yeah.
get to.
It's
Go
super
too deep.
sketchy.
It's like
We
4%,
just-
if that,
Yeah.
literally. So, it doesn't happen. And when you release a Dead Man Switch video on top of it, if anything happens to me,
Oh, she had it.
oh yeah, that happened. Yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things that need to be solved. So that's why this is extra. This is extra, salt in the wound.
Are we getting you guys another strike right now?
No,
By
we're
talking
just.
this?
And if it is, I'll create another damn channel. Back up.
So back up.
This isn't because we're not. This isn't copywritten information. We're talking.
Right.
So this conversation. So we're good. And people need to know, because It's like we're not launching and the over the counter cat. I don't know his name. I can't think of it. But there's a bunch of us on Twitter linking up to try to, figure out what's going on, but not to take steps to like start a war here. We just want to find out why, and just find out why, and then go from there, because that's all we can do. I don't know. It's the only reasonable thing, in my opinion. So who knows? But yeah,
it's spooky, because if they can get to her, they can get to any of us. But I mean, they've definitely gotten to me. But the thing is, and Lindsay and Johnny and I have been having this discussion that they can't get to here. They can't get to your soul.
Nope.
And as long as you know that, like, what's the worst they can fucking do? Set you free?
Right. That, and I don't want to piss on this at all, because you're totally right. But what frightens me a little bit, and I know this is a little bit of paranoia, Barski paranoia here, but the mRNA thing, right? Mm-hmm. Because I mean, if we look at it from the reference frame of, okay, our DNA are like, let's say the iMac here, and the RNA is the OS, right?
Okay.
You can kind of look at it that way, right? And leaving it a back door open kind of thing to program whatever they want to program into, or take out whatever they want to take out, certain parts of it. What scares me most, and I'm curious to know, and I've heard people, and this is all speculation, it's wild speculation, I believe, that it takes the God gene, or the fundamentalist, right. I'm sure, have you heard about this, Jess?
Mm-hmm.
No, that I haven't heard of.
Okay, well, in 2004 they figured out where the basically where God exists in
the brain,
in the brain and the human genome. After they finished the product, they figured it out, and
you have a spiritual experience. It lights up a certain.
Yes.
The God helmet. Yes. God helmet.
Well, I don't know. That's Persing. That might have something to do with that. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Well, I think they used it to research of where that is.
Okay.
I think that's how they used it.
Persinger. Yeah. Okay.
They call it the fun vaccine. Fun for fundamental, for fun to kill fundamentalist brain cells.
Exactly. Fundamentalist, So here's where here's where my line of thinking goes with this, of questioning at least. I'm curious to know if people that have gotten the mRNA vaccinations that are avid users of entheogens or, psychedelics or what have you, if the experience changes, if there's something that's not. Do you know what I'm saying here? Do you know where I'm going with this?
It shuts off that connection.
Yes.
So they don't have the spiritual aspect of it.
I'm curious. I'm curious to know, and I want to know.
Interesting.
And I that's an open question. I really want to know, and I'm going to start voicing that a little bit more and try to get to the.
Somebody knows.
Yeah, because
poke around the internet
for real, and I have friends that have already gotten it. So that I know eat mushrooms frequently. So I'll find out soon enough. But
do they always have spiritual experiences, or are they just trying to get messed up?
Dude, they're people that I would never. You know what I'm saying? They're smart enough to.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean.
I don't hang out with those people, Jim. I don't. You know what I mean?
It's just like with the new age people. Like, they're honest. Some of them are very honest, searching for spiritual truth, right? But they're blocked up with this bullshit. Exactly, grifting. Well, just like every Christian in America, just searching for that thing. And I'm sure they're
pure. They're pure in the intent, right?
They're pure in their intent, exactly.
Yeah.
But there's still a little bit of shit in the brownies.
Absolutely.
And they're eating it.
Yep. It's dead on. It's dead on. They're eat and they gorge on it once they
So going back to the the psychonauts kind of thing, is the guys that do that for the spiritual trip. Like, most of those guys, I mean, I shouldn't say most. Some of them I've met because I kind of went down this shaman thing, like trying to find out, like to explore the shamanic arts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still on that, but
Yeah.
the ones that I really don't trust are the psychonauts because
The
they're
DMT?
trying, yeah, the DMT guys. They're psychonauts, but they're disguising themselves as mystics, and they're just not. They're just
Yeah,
not.
it's short.
They're
It's a
still,
shortcut.
yeah, it's a shortcut.
Doesn't
And
work.
that's not.
There's no shortcuts.
It maybe show you a window, but that's not how you get there. You got to get there by hard work and deep meditation.
Absolutely. And I will send you, Gordon. I'll send all of you guys. I think I saw it when I sent it. Jim, did you listen to that the Mysterious Universe, the Plus episode, the Tuesday episode? You didn't get a chance. It's all about these psychonauts where this dude came out where the CIA put him up to doing these, literally like trained him like soldiers to do these crazy amounts of DMT, like super DMT,
Oh, fuck.
to go talk to whatever these entities. It is
Send me that shit.
it
Send
is
me
the
that
most,
shit.
it blew my mind. Jim, was I not freaking out? Like, you have to listen now. Like, I gave him my login information. I was like, now. Like, you have to, like, it blew my mind so hard that I couldn't even, like, I still haven't been able to come back from it yet. And this was just a couple weeks ago. And I'm just like,
Oh,
holy shit. And it's not a Friday Mysterious Universe show. It's a Plus episode for only the Plus season. I'll actually get the exact.
I'll have to listen to that.
It's
Yeah.
in the.
That's nuts.
I'm pulling it up right now, and I will tell you which episode it is. And let's see.
Yeah, I've never gotten Plus, but there were a couple of teasers that I forgot about a long time ago, and they were talking about implants one time, and I'm like, holy shit, they're
Yep.
talking about me.
Yep, bro. I got you. I will hook you up. Let's see. Sorry for the dead air. Well, whatever. I'll find it and send it to you guys because I'm pretty sure I can just send it as an actual. Oh wait, here we go. Nope. Damn it. Yeah, right.
All right.
Oh, here we
I
go.
forgot
Here we
where
go.
to-
I got it right here. All right. Yeah, it's your jamesmaiden23@gmail.com, and you can just play it right from there, Jim. And I'll send it to you guys right now. Screw it.
That's my email. If anybody listening wants to email me.
I'm gonna Jess. I'll send it to you right now as well. And Gordon, give me your email real quick. You guys don't mind, right? Or do you not want to say it?
It's I have to think of which one I want to use.
Yeah, because you can listen to it immediately.
Yeah, it's just Gordy Two Shoes at Gmail
Okay.
with the number 2, Gordy Two Shoes
Okay, hold on. Let's see.
with a
That's
Y,
the
Gordy
right
with a
amount.
Y.
That's a good amount of shoes.
It's the perfect amount of shoes. You don't need any more than that, right? You're not going to wear more than that at one time.
No.
Got
No.
2 feet.
What are you, psycho?
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay.
So are you a sock shoe or a sock shoe person?
It's all socks all the time. Wait, what are we talking about again? I don't remember now. I think I lost the thread.
When you get dressed, when you get dressed up with your shoes and socks, do you go sock shoe or sock shoe?
No, sock. Because I
Yes,
never
me
not
too.
have socks on.
Gordy Two Shoes at what? Sorry.
At Gmail.
Okay. All right, and then I'll also send it to you, Jess.
I prefer to be barefoot as much as possible, so I go sock shoe.
Do you? So do you do that on purpose for grounding yourself?
I just like being barefoot. I mean,
Yeah.
unless my feet are cold, but yeah, I don't know, not really. My feet, I like to regulate my temperature out of my feet, I guess. So I'll
okay.
put a sweater on before I put shoes on. But I mean, it does. You can ground that way. It is kind of nice, and having your feet in dirt, like I've had athlete's foot like for a long time, like back in the day, and then I started going around barefoot, and
it goes away.
And it went away like in a week.
Nice.
Hey,
never came back.
Man, that grounding stuff, though, I mean, that's just good stuff in the soil anyway that we need. But if you go out and meditate and stick your hands in the dirt and you kind of let your spirit flow with the earth and stuff, like you feel it. It changes you. Somehow you feel the transference. I know I'm sounding all woo.
No, you're dead on.
This is the guy I'm at now, but it's real, man. Like
No.
I've got relationships with owls, wild owls now that are just
Love it.
like, do you guys follow me on Instagram?
What's your Instagram?
I will.
It is Gordy_2_shoes.
Okay. Let's see here.
I'll have to get Instagramming, I guess.
Good.
Oh, see, sorry, you don't have to, dude. It's fine. I'll send you pictures.
Okay, guys, you guys both should have looks like it's good.
I'll check it later.
Yeah, no worries. And Jim, you still need to listen to that, by the way.
I will.
It's from the 2nd of this month.
Thank you for sending that, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
It's
thank
there,
you.
so you don't have to waste whatever. Not waste, but okay, and then the grounding thing though, it's made. Plus, you're close to Sedona, man. The funny thing is when I visited my aunt out in Prescott I was probably 11 or 12, and I had no basis of any of this, right? And we did a day trip to Sedona, and this was in the so I was like 12, so it would have been early 90s. Okay, so I remember, in hindsight, I remember just it being like the most magical. I remember seeing like silvery, when I have memories, like my still frame memories, of even today, it's like I have these like silver shimmer almost in really random places walking through there. And I don't know, there's just like, I never felt that in touch with anything, and I didn't even know how to really put that into words. I still can't. But it's just really weird at such a young age to be so.
There is some sort of portal, something.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and it's linked into the whole 411 thing. I'm convinced of it. And the same thing with
That's the Bigfoot. This is all the Bigfoot thing too. It's all the same.
Exactly. Let's bring it around.
It's all the
that
same.
Bigfoot, it's the same thing.
Phenomenon. Yep.
The Fae stuff. All the what's that documentary series where they're hunting
Hellier.
Hellier, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
The goblins.
Hellier. Yep, the goblins. Yep. That's all Fae stories. And we've been telling these stories for 1,000 years.
Yep.
And we're still ignoring them like they're fake.
Yeah, and Jacques Vallée, I stopped the whole UFO thing. Like you researching UFOs like a psycho, and then I was like, this is it, Jacques Vallée. This resonated the hardest. I was like, this is what this is, dude.
Yep.
And
they're not aliens from another planet.
No.
They're right here.
No.
It's right here, man.
Exactly.
Yes, and it's like the other thing with the moon. We've talked about this before. It's like I've got Who Built the Moon right here, Alan Butler and Knight, whatever, great Masons. And I don't give a shit. Talk shit about masonry. I'll join in a heartbeat. Seriously, whatever. Anyway, they I believe the moon. I don't.
Okay,
people are like, oh, it's we never went there. We never went. Bullshit. We've been there.
We've been there.
We've been there. Of course, we've been there.
Yes.
We didn't.
Yes, we've been there.
It's way closer than they say it is, and it's within our atmosphere. That's what I'm. That's where I'm at. That's where That's the conclusion I've come to. Absolutely.
Really?
Is that from who? Is that from that?
No, that's from they don't even go there. They kind of go there, but they don't come out and say that at all or imply. But all the research I've done, that's where there's like, whoa, this just all. I just kind of put it together like I'm like that.
Yeah.
This makes the most sense.
How
I don't know.
the fuck would we know?
Right.
You know. How the fuck would we know? We don't
We
know.
we don't.
I
We
didn't
just
go on a spaceship. I
all
don't
we're
know.
told is what's not by NASA. I've found it's like they just tell us what that's not a rainbow. That shit on Mars, that rainbow, and I don't know if you all saw
Oh,
that,
yeah?
that photo.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
it's funny. You guys are you're so sure of what it's not. Like that is just that's y'all. Like it's a joke. I don't know that whole satellites thing though. I don't buy all that bullshit James True was talking about. Dude, there's satellites. Shit's up there.
Dude,
I
James,
don't agree.
James True doesn't know shit.
No, he's a fucking idiot. Sorry,
He doesn't know shit. No.
he doesn't, man.
I
don't care how
agree
much-
about satellites. I think that they are balloons. They're held up by balloons. Otherwise, like I drive like not even 2 miles outside of town, and all the cell phone service drops off, and there's no reason why I wouldn't have a line of sight to a satellite if they were up in the sky. But
so there's no the Satelloon thing just doesn't pass the smell test anymore.
I saw some photographs of like piles of them.
I have
and
too.
They were up on it was like the Russian embassy or something like
Yeah,
that.
they're in multiple places. I've seen them just too, Jim.
And
But
they've been shooting them down and collecting them.
I've seen that.
Who knows though.
There's definitely some trickery afoot with how this works, but we're not telemetrists. We're not, you know what I'm saying? We're not versed in this those specific physics actually either. You know, so.
Well, I don't think there's any way that we've ever gone through the Van Allen.
Well, that could, yeah,
belt.
that feels right too. That's why I believe the moon is in our atmosphere. That's the only way.
Yeah.
I don't know
Like-
if it's necessarily a solid thing.
It's
Or
not.
Oh.
An energy.
It's hollow.
It's a plasma.
It's a
sort of-
satellite.
perhaps.
It's a satellite at least.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't. I think it's more part of the clockwork of everything. Like
Yeah.
the tides and the daytime, the nighttime, all that stuff. The stars,
The sky clock.
the wandering
Mhm.
stars. The planets that go forward and backward across the ellipsis.
Yep.
It's all pretty cool and fantastic, and
But to deny so much of the shit is just like, I feel it's foolish to deny.
I don't know. I think that it's all the only way that it works as a lie is if it's a great big lie and everything's part of it. Like why would you lie about some of it when you can? It's the whole upside down thing.
Yeah.
If you
Well-
go into NASA and where the people that started it,
Nazis.
there's no reason to trust
Mhm.
these guys.
They were Nazis.
Nope.
Yes.
Mhm,
They
literally.
were
Satanists.
definitely Nazis for sure.
Fucking Nazis. Yes. Yeah.
They're
So
cultists,
well, we're occultists kind of too. So it's like whatever.
Well, I don't mean it like in the cute
Oh.
way.
Occult.
It's another show altogether. So
No, yeah, it's true. But it's just weird. It's just fun to entertain. I don't know.
So where do you guys stand on flat Earth?
I don't. I think it's both.
Are you agnostic about it, or
I don't think if it's hard to say what it is, but I don't think it's a ball at all.
I don't think it's a full ball, but I don't care to be like to even. It feels like it's such a psychological. I'm not gonna say operation, but I feel like it came on the scene right around the time before Q came on the scene.
Just slightly before. Yeah,
Yep.
just before Q.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and
Mhm.
there was
Mhm.
positive, and there's
It's
Dude.
been on.
Yeah.
It's only been a globe for 400 years.
Mhm, mhm.
Like
Well,
all history
that's-
before that, it was flat. I think if
that's
anything,
not true though.
That's
The
infinite
Egyptians proved.
plane.
The Egyptians proved it.
yes,
Prove it was round.
with
centuries.
with
Like
serious.
5,000 years before that.
They
And
did.
nailed it. They
Yeah.
nailed the calculations.
They absolutely did. and doing a bunch of serious research with, you know, the great blue dog star, whatever you want to call it, you know, that, yes, it all ties back to that. Doing all this cosmic trigger, Robert Anton Wilson, going really
I'm
deep.
leaning more towards a hypercube.
Ooh.
Elaborate.
You know, it's hard to talk about things that are unviewable, you know.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Shape, but like imagine like a corner that you can almost see around wherever you look, but like you can't quite see around it. I'm not very good at describing the hypercube, but my friend Adam Lohr is a genius, and he was talking about this, and it's very plausible. Like it almost like kind of like Pac-Man, you know, where you go off of one side and you come on to the other
Come
side.
back around on the other.
Yeah. But it's pretty hard. It's like a fifth dimensional shape. Like, have you seen the hypercube shape where it's like always turning in on itself?
I do know
and,
it.
And it makes like it makes the Star of David at one point, and then it makes like all these like,
yes,
shapes that are like
sacred geometry.
shapes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And like if you think about it all being a vibration, you know, all reality is like the word, you know, the voice of God, you know, the like a light frequency, essentially, you know what sound is, you know.
Yeah, the photons. Yep. Or from the aural AUR.
And you know what's it called when you know they have like sand on a table or a plate or whatever, and they
psionics
play tones through it.
Cymatics.
Cymatics.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, just beautiful organizations out of chaos.
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay. So this is my kick lately. Has anybody read Biocentrism or any of the Biocentrism books?
No.
Robert Lanza.
I've heard.
So he makes a really good case about how, you know, with the double slit and the Schrodinger's cat and those thought experiments.
The third man thing.
Third
the
man,
observer.
yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
The observer effect.
All those things fit into biocentrism, which is essentially like we make our own reality.
Yes. Thank you.
Like it's all about how we are the God.
Yep.
Creating our reality.
Yep.
And the God that we think is a God creating things is all of us.
Right.
We are God is the space between us.
Yep.
And we are all creation.
Sorry. Yep. When
That's
we have these,
telling us that is one thing, because if we knew that truth, then we would be gods.
Because we are
God. Yeah.
Because you are.
And this is God right now.
Right. Exactly.
And this conversation is God right now. Like this exchange, if you will, and it being observed by anybody. You know what I'm saying? The fact that there's multiple people observing this, it's all encompassing, and it's all
right.
and I feel like I'm certain of that, and I know it sounds arrogant almost to say, but from psychedelics kind of and being like jaded, growing up, being forced to go to church, like, you know, and really just like, yo, fuck you. I bought a Satanic Bible at like 14, dude, because you guys pissed me off so bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you assholes did me dirty. So like, you know, I was like, fuck you guys. But yeah, once I was like, why can I telepathically connect with this squirrel? Like, you know what I mean? When I'm like 18, I'm doing, you know, 2 sugar cubes of some decent LSD, and I'm just like, okay, I cannot be an agnostic. Well, I can't be an atheist. That's actually more arrogant than being a fucking asshole Christian. Well, not more. Yeah. It's about equal. So
yeah, they're about the same.
Yeah, they are. And so how could, you know, and I was never really an atheist. I was like, well, agnostic. But now I'm like, no, can't be agnostic about it. It is what it is. I know that there's, it's it's everything, and it sounds
Yeah.
woo woo and stupid.
And going back to James's point about the geometry, like all that shit, like if you extrapolate a cymatic, when you shift the frequency and you watch those shapes change and make the patterns and stuff, if you extrapolated that to a sound wave, like we could see it, I know that shit is fractals.
Of course.
Which is exactly what everything else is.
Yes.
Whether it's the connection between you and me, or my dogs, or the cells in my body, this is all fucking fractals, all the way down.
Absolutely.
All the way up and all the way down. As above, so below. That's what the ancients were supposed to be telling us. But we've been manipulated to believing in these bullshit myths.
Constructs, yeah.
These constructs that are just, it's all fake. Like everything's fake except for our own experience. What we experience is what we know. That's the only thing we know.
Right. And I think it's also, I don't think that those constructs are necessary. I think they're good thought experiments for us to build off of and to come to these conclusions, to be able to come to these, I won't say hard and fast conclusions, because they're definitely not hard and fast, because they're not, it's not like we can sit here and you can be like, this is a fractal, and and break it down scientifically and show it and reproduce it. But at the same time, we just know that it is, we just know it resonates deeply within us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's that's all we need to.
It's that ring of truth.
Right.
There's a reason why that we have that phrase, a ring of truth to it. It's because we feel it.
Yep.
We feel it ring in our being.
Exactly.
And we know what it is.
For sure. It was beautiful. Yeah. We need some singing bowls, man. Get them out. All right. I think that's a good way to probably end it. What do you guys think?
Cool.
Good conversation. Seriously.
Excellent. Good conversation.
It was a blast. It was a lot of fun. Thank you guys.
Oh, I really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Sorry we talked a shitload, just like rambling.
Yeah, sorry,
No.
Jess.
No, I liked it. I'm absorbing. I was absorbing. It was a great conversation. I learned a lot too, and a lot of fun stuff to think about. I got a lot of notes from different books and stuff here.
We got you. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So, yeah, we're gonna sign off. Thank you everybody for coming in the chat and hanging out and finding us. And I'll post this because it looks like we can still post on the
just not live.
We just can't go live, so I'll repost this as well. So, but everybody participate in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. And we'll be back on Monday with Heather Taddy to talk her adventures with Jack Osborne and Portals to Hell, and that'll be fun. So, and some other UFO stuff. So that'll be good. So everybody have a good night.